We're on!
Round two, motherfuckers!
And guess what? Rick hasn't got his little overlay up, for fuck's sake. You guys expect me to do everything around here, you know.
I'm unprofessional.
There you go. It's up.
Well, hello.
Hello, James. Different change of scenery as well. And we are physically flicking between people now, which is...
Good. So we're on, are we?
We are on, we are live, we are ready to go. Finally, there may be some God in this to help us run this show this week.
Maybe. We shall see.
What a fucking shitstorm.
So,
Never mind.
Guys, if you are watching this, maybe live, or if you're catching up on this, we had a fuck up. First of all, hopefully it'll be a lot better this time. We were able to get through the show nice and smoothly. Back on track. Now fucking good old James is back in.
I have found out something about Hangouts.
Yes.
If there's only 2 people in, then it doesn't flick between the 2. You have to have 3 people in.
Oh, brilliant.
There you go.
There you go.
So, hoorah! Welcome back to Amateur Hour. Yes, well done, Mark. Hooray! Thank God for James. Why? What's James done apart from turning up late? No, you had good reasons, so you know we're not going to go into that anymore. So James, what did you miss, James? The fact that we sacked you because you were caught smoking Lambert and Butler behind the.
It's not Lambert and Butler, it's Benson and Hedges.
So yeah, it's quite an interesting first 10 minutes, but we're back.
Yeah,
we're back. Hurrah! So James, what are you vaping on?
What am I vaping on? In the old temperature sensing, I've got some custodial. What is it? What's it called? Vanilla custodial from Exceptional Vapes. And then in the lemo, I have got some 12 Monkeys Congo custard.
What's the Congo custard like?
It's a strawberry custard. It's a pretty sweet one though. It's not. It tastes kind of saccharine-y, but it's not too bad.
Good, nice one.
Sounds nice, actually.
Me and Tom have already done our introductions as well. So.
Oh, hi, I'm James. You can find me here somewhere.
Have you zoomed in too much on yourself?
What?
Yeah,
hey?
Exactly. Smiler. So we've already talked about the public Google Hangouts. You know, the ones that you don't go into.
Oh, I know. It's real life.
Too famous.
That's
Too famous. I haven't got time for you lesser mortals.
Can I just mention, guys, some people don't have the new link, so if it's possible to pass that around to people so they can get involved in the show tonight, guys, because obviously we've had to change the link. Post it. We have posted it on Vape Talk UK, but if you can pass it around the Google Hangouts or the Facebook groups that you're on to let everyone know the link's changed and get joined in. Cool, guys. So we'll get on with the show. Rick, you are the man.
We only lost 22 minutes, really. Well, not really. We didn't lose 22 minutes because we introduced ourselves, and for you to introduce yourself, Tom, takes quite a while. We're doing well. So I'm going to put a big tick. We actually have tick boxes for things that we have to discuss. So I'm going to put a big tick on that one. Okay, so first on the agenda, vape subscription packages.
This is Juice, guys. Just to let you know, Juice subscription packs.
Again, going off my notes, it could be anything, but yeah, Juice subscription services or packages. What do we think about them?
There's so many out there now, offering all kinds of different things. There's UK blends, there's US blends, there's premium liquids. Personally, I haven't had one since. Do you remember Vape Crate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to get Vape Crate, but I haven't ordered any since then. If you want them, get them. If you don't want them, don't get them. Personally, I would like to pick and choose my own flavors and my own vapes, but I'm not a great fan of getting surprises through the mail, even though I'm a reviewer.
I think that's the issue with the subscription packages. You know, like if you've got your unicorn setup mod, your dripper or your tank or whatever, and you've got your perfect setup that you like, and all you're doing now is searching for juices, I think they're perfect. But if you're as anal as me with juices, like literally, if I like it, I will love it. If I hate it, I will hate it. And it's that surprise of actually getting a full box that you've paid quite a lot of money for, and you hate every single juice within inside the box.
I mean, they are good. They are good for discovering new juices, though, aren't they?
Yeah, that risk.
I mean, it is quite risky, but I mean, I've heard all sorts of horror stories with a certain company. I'm not going to name the company, but this certain company, basically, further down the line, it's really hard not to name them. Further down the line, they created their own company, a juice company, and they started sending out a shitload of their own juice in the boxes, so profiting from that, really. Not only that, is if you put 3 milligrams down, they'll send you 6, 12, 18 mix, you know.
But what's the problem with them putting their own juices in? I personally don't see the issue with that, because it's a selection of juices.
It is a selection of juices, but at the end of the day, he's profiting twice from it. He's putting substandard juices in that they're just making off the cuff, you know, they're just banging them out. I mean,
all right.
That's the kind of risk you take, though, isn't it? That, once again, you go into a brick and mortar and try juices that you think is going to be nice, or do you risk getting something that's substantial? Do you know what I mean? It's all the whole risk with it. So it's down to if you've got the right setup and you want just to try juices, and if you fail to spend £40, £50 on juices and not like one of them, then that's the risk you're willing to take.
Yeah.
I mean, we're quite lucky in the way that we do get sent juices to try.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
So it's quite hard to be very judgmental about this, but you know, if you're just a vapor that has no resources to sort of get in juices for review, then I should imagine it's a good way to go. There's a new one that's just come out called I think it's Vape Mail.
Oh yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
The late Vic Mullen reviewed it, and yeah, they do.
The late Vic Mullen.
The late great Vic Mullen.
the late show. But yeah, he reviewed it, and basically what they do is if you like a liquid, you can order top-ups. So they're ordering the concentrate in from the States, and they're mixing it themselves.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. That's really good.
But then you're not trying different juices. You kind of find a juice that you like, vape it until you absolutely hate it, and then go for another one.
Yeah. I mean, even though we do get sent a lot of juices.
Talk for yourself, James.
Oh yeah. Well, not a lot. But out of all the juices, what's the percentage that you actually would vape all day? And for me, it's a small selection. It's a small amount of juices. So it's pretty much the same as subscription services. There are some subscription services which you can pick and choose the flavours that you want, the juices that you want, and that's quite a good subscription service. You can actually get sent a box of exactly what you want, rather than a surprise ending up on your doorstep.
Well, you know, we all know what surprises you like on your doorstep. A flaming paper bag of shit.
I'll send that blow-up sheet you sent me back to you, Rik. So.
It's just like reinventing the wine club, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not that Tom's sophisticated enough to know what a wine club is.
I don't drink. What the fuck? I'm not alky like you do. Talking of getting drunk, hangouts that you get drunk in, Rik.
We've already done this. We've done this.
I missed that.
I wasn't as drunk as some other people. What was the other guy's name?
It was Richard Allen.
Richard Allen was smashed off his tits. I've never seen someone that drunk on an internet basis. But yeah, it was great fun. It was an absolute hoot to say. Mark Roberts, surprises rarely end up to be good ones. Lol, yeah, that's true. I don't know. You got a good surprise, didn't you? You told me your Mac. That's a good one.
I did get a good surprise. That's very nice.
Okay, Dell Wilkinson, Vape Mail. Fuck it then. I'm going to launch Dell Mail as a Lucky Dip subscription box.
Do it, mate.
Everybody's saying Rik got wankered. I didn't get wankered. I was
Rik,
tipsy.
you did get wankered. I'm sorry, but you did get wankered. Oh, talking to Dale, Dale wants to know, Rik. Question: Rik's radio station setup on Vape Talk UK looks pretty cool, but at what point will he realise his face is good for radio?
I realised that a long time ago. Thanks. I used to do a radio show.
That's why you got the setup.
That's why I developed the face for radio.
We'll have a vote. Who wants Rik to go cameraless?
Fine. It's off. No, we've done it now.
Brilliant.
That's an improvement.
Hey, bring yourself on, Rik. Bring yourself back on that.
No, I refuse to. This is a protest against my human rights.
Dale, this is your fault. Dale, this is your fault. So, being on the questions, I think we should run through some questions from the viewers.
In the room.
I think we should run through some questions. Is that okay with you, Rik?
Yeah, you crack on. You've got access to this list as well.
I have got. So I'm going to just go run through. First, let's run through a fair question. This is quite a simple question. Has anyone tried squonkers?
No.
No.
I've tried squonking. It sounds pretty sexual. A bit of squonking now and again.
Does it involve keys and bowls?
Squonking. It's a pretty simple concept. It's basically a box with a hollowed out tube on the bottom, so you can put a bottom-based ADA, dripper through it, and you can pump the juice by pressing it, and it pumps the juice up into your ADA rather than dripping. I've tried it. I've not looked deeply into it, but I have tried it, and for me personally, I'd rather just take my top cap off and drip, to be particularly quite honest. You need the cotton to be sat right on the bottom of the deck, and then it soaks through into your wicks, but it's all personal choice. If you want like squonkers, go watch Todd. Todd likes squonkers.
How do you know how much you've squonked? You know when you push the little thing? Like, can you flood it?
Yes, you can flood it.
Right, so there's a science to it. Right, yeah. Okay, hang on a minute. I've got... Right, I'm not happy with this. Can someone ban Mark Roberts, please? Rik, face for radio, voice for newspaper. Why abuse me?
Absolutely perfect.
I didn't have the girly laugh.
Oh, right, so let's get some more questions then while we're looking at the questions. This one's from Becky Highland. And James, this one is for you. How does James keep his taste buds going reviewing all the juices he does?
Oh, hang on. We're doing a bit on Vapor's Tongue anyway, aren't we?
Yeah, so we'll bring that in as well.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, well, I do my reviews in one big lump. So I do like 20 reviews in a day sometimes, and then not do any more reviews for the rest of the week and just vape my normal juices. But I know when I'm reviewing, I know when my taste buds are going, and that's when I stop. I don't really suffer from Vapor's Tongue. I don't get it very often, but I know when my taste buds are going and I'm losing the taste of juice, and I just stop reviewing. Then it's. But yeah, I make sure I drink plenty of fluids all the time. And I think that's one of the biggest things for Vapor's Tongue, isn't it? Getting dehydrated. But yeah, I don't really suffer from it. I'm lucky in that respect.
Getting dehydrated. Vaping.
So we'll go on to the subject of actually Vapor's Tongue as well, why that question is aroused. Basically, a lot of people do say Vapor's Tongue is obviously from vaping the same juice over and over again. Monotonous use of the same juice. And a lot of people swear by menthol. Use a lot of menthol to clean your palate. But for me personally, as we all know, the majority of your taste buds are in here, not on there. So there must be obviously a blockage within obviously your senses, taste buds in your nose as much as in your tongue. So what I would recommend is vaping menthol, and a lot of it to pull it through your nose to clean out your sinuses and to clean your taste buds. So that's my recommendation.
you can actually make your own menthol juice. If you go to Boots, other high street pharmacies are available. You can actually buy menthol crystals.
Yeah.
And you don't need much, just a little bit. I don't know the exact quantities. Do some research online, and then you just soak it in your VG.
I mix. I actually mix it with PG. I put the 5 ml tub of menthol crystals. I put that in 10 ml of PG. Give it a good shake, make sure, and then you got concentrate there to use whenever. And you can just use it a drop at a time because it makes it a really strong menthol mix. But it works very well. So if you ever needed to put menthol in, you've got a nice strong concentrate there, a drop at a time, and it works a treat.
I mean, I'm quite lucky. I've never suffered from Vapor's tongue. I guess it's just the fat tongue has got too many taste buds to kill.
So do your research as well as much as taking our advice online regarding the Vapor's tongue, guys, because there is so much out there that people have tried. You know, like lemon juice I've heard people use, menthol crystals. So there is quite a lot of stuff out there. Literally go to the people who have had Vapor's tongue and see what their research was to get rid of it. So that's the bit on Vapor's tongue.
Can I just jump in here because someone's saying server error galore, load of server errors on chat. We have got the actual hosting people watching this at the moment to see why it's balking up, because we've got unlimited everything. So if you just keep hassling in the chat, then they'll get to fix it. If they don't fix it, then I'll send out their email address publicly and you guys can abuse them.
Just looking up online about Vapor's tongue and some treatments for it. It says rotate e-liquid flavors, brush your teeth. They say that dental hygiene.
more than once a week.
Yeah, more than once a week. Give you senses of flavor shock. So I suppose that's the menthol thing there. Rinse out your mouth as well. So give it rinse it out with, I suppose, with mouthwash. And smell some coffee grounds is one in here as well. Take a whiff of coffee grounds is a trick commonly used by wine tasters and perfume experts.
I was going to say a really strong cup of coffee would probably sort that out.
Yeah.
So some pretty cool ideas there, what you can do. Definitely.
That is
so
Vapor's tongue.
Hey? So many questions to get through tonight, guys.
There is.
I'm going to jump on a few more. This one is from Ryan Finney, I believe it is. Apologise if I've pronounced his name wrong. It says, how much has vaping changed your social life? Has it taken over? Has it improved it? Etc, etc.
Well, we're not the norm of vapors, though, really, are we? I mean, we got one guy that works in this shop, so his whole life's vaping, and reviews as well, and then we got 2 reviewers, so our vaping, well, my personal vaping experience is, yeah, it takes over a lot.
Agreed.
I mean, how has it affected my social life in terms of I've gained a lot of friends through vaping?
Yeah.
I have gained a lot of friends, but then I don't necessarily have the time to go out and socialise with real life friends, which is why Hangouts comes in handy, because then I don't curl up in a corner and wish myself to sleep every night.
Regarding that question as well, I must agree with Rik and James. Vaping is, when you get to this kind of stage, it's a lifestyle rather than a hobby. You move from obviously quitting smoking to a hobbyist to it being a lifestyle, and it really is a lifestyle. You literally basically eat, sleep, vape, repeat, and that's literally what you do, and that's how life becomes, and it literally is about that. But people who are petrol heads, people who buy helicopters, exactly the same. It's the part of their life, and that's how they get on with it.
You do sort of end up in these circles, don't you? Really, these circles of people that actually do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you migrate to people with a common interest, don't you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's how we got. Naked Vapor said, "What defines a normal vapor?" Well, I guess someone that's not a hobbyist.
The majority of vapors out there, the 95% of vapors which are doing it to quit smoking, still on egos and emails and things like that, and pro tanks that are just doing it to quit smoking. They don't go on the forums, they don't go on the Facebook pages. who just vape to get their nicotine intake.
Yeah, exactly. That. Well, then it goes back to the fact: is there such thing as normal?
Not in this hangout, no.
No, not in this hangout, no. I mean, if you're generalising, though, a normal vapor is essentially someone who's not a hobbyist.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed with that. So I'm going to go to another question that's been put off the list. This is a question from Ben Hannigan, and it says, what liquid trends do you see becoming the next big thing? Cereal, custard, Heisenberg clones, what's next?
Yogurt and cereal are going to be the big ones in the next 6 months or so.
Yeah, agreed 100% with that, 100%. Because the cereal in the States is literally huge at the minute, and we literally don't have an English juice that does cereal, and we don't really have the availability of American cereal.
Yes, we do.
Do we?
Jim Lacey does it.
Yeah, Jim Lacey does his. Actually, in fact, Tom, that's part of the giveaway tonight.
Ooh!
I personally, I think it's going to go full circle back to Hang Sing. Joke. I agree. Yeah. Cereals. I love that Orangs one. Cereals and yogurts. I'm not too keen on yogurts myself, but I could see it being a big thing.
Well, I am on a cereal at the minute. I'm on a cereal which is Nick's the Subarus, which is Loop Ninja, and it literally does. If you ever tried, there is other cereal vapes out there, guys. By the way, if you literally want to try something that tastes like the cereal Fruit Loops, if you've ever had the cereal Fruit Loops, this is exactly what it tastes like. It's got that milk, it's got that nice honey, it's absolutely, and fruits, it's beautiful. So, yeah, I honestly agree, think custard and cereal will be the next big hype.
We got Digby's do cereal as well, apparently.
Oh yeah, their new Ringmaster one there. It's their new flavour, isn't it?
And Penguin do Chinstrap, which is a yogurt.
Is a yogurt, yeah. So,
Decang for the win, apparently.
I think it's a really good thing now that blenders are getting more experimental and we're moving away from this generic one raspberry flavour, one blackcurrant flavour, and it's become an actual artwork to blend liquids rather than, you know, and people are still selling it, and there's always going to be a market for generic liquids out there, but I'm glad that people are becoming more adventurous with their blending skills, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, we're talking of that. There is another question that says, which is a wide open question, guys. It says, why does the industry view cloning liquid as okay, but cloning as mods evil?
Well, what's cloning liquid though? Do they mean somebody? Say for example, Heisenberg, a vampire vapes liquid, and then somebody else gets their concentrate, blends it with some VG, blends it with some PG and some nicotine, and then sells it as Heisenberg. Is that what cloning is, or is it cloning of flavours?
I think it both. I think it's necessarily both.
Well, if it's cloning of flavours, then every different brand of bacon you buy is a clone, isn't it? Not that you eat bacon, Tom, but
they all use the same flavorings to get a certain concentrate, don't they?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is there such thing as a clone liquid unless they're actually completely ripping off a brand?
I think, but wouldn't even renaming it would be a clone? Would you say that would be cloning a juice, even renaming it?
I think so. I think that blenders should actually make their liquids themselves, create their own liquids. Otherwise you are just ripping off another company. Use simple generic blends like blackcurrant, you know, all the ones I've mentioned previously. That's fine because you just can buy that concentrate. But if somebody has put their time and effort in to blend a liquid through months of experience, testing it out, finding what works, what doesn't work, and then somebody comes along and they just make the same liquid using their recipe or finding a recipe,
that's his whole point, though. isn't it? He's saying why is cloning liquids okay when considered not okay when cloning mods and RDAs.
Well, me personally, I don't see cloning mods and RDAs a problem either, because not everybody can afford. Not going to get into this debate, but not everybody can afford authentics.
Yeah, it's like replicating a football shirt. It's not. It's a replica. It's a replica football shirt. That's what they call it. It's not used by the same material that a footballer would use. It's a replica shirt. So on the same page. But it's like we discussed before, James. We did mention about a stare. Like juices are classed as a stare now. We all know who started a stare. And a lot of juices that are menthol and fruits are now being called a stares. Is that not the person who originally started the juice called a stare? Are they not jumping on that hype or kind of cloning the name?
They definitely could be. It's a really tricky one, isn't it? My personal thing is, if you haven't blended it to your own recipe and you're just copying somebody else's, then I don't agree with it.
But with juices, they tend not to put Register clone, do they? Whereas with mods, they've always got clone or styled on. I personally don't have a problem with it either. I prefer to buy clones. A lot of the time, if you buy a later edition clone, they're better than the genuine because they've got the resources to actually iron out all the creases that are with the genuine and the problems with the genuine, and make it better.
Allegedly.
It is a big
allegedly, yeah.
It is a big debate on clones and whatnot, but it is something that is very widely thought about very differently. You have got obviously like people who highly think clones are okay, and you have people that don't think clones are okay. Regardless of it, it's your personal opinion, and regarding the clone liquid and the clone mods, that will be it.
You never want to get into this debate, do you, Tom? I think this should be one of your Wednesday night whinges.
We won't get into the debate because it literally is a break in the market that will never ever be, a-okay. People don't like it, people love it. It's just an argument that will never ever be won.
No.
So regarding, it's your personal opinion, and if you prefer clones, you prefer clones. If you don't, you don't. Simple as. Easy as. Buy what you can afford, buy what you believe you're going to spend your money on. You worked hard for it. Simple.
What is going to be in your Wednesday night whinge, by the way, Tom? I'm sure we'd love a sort of little sneak peek, because that is tomorrow.
The Wednesday night whinge will be up tomorrow. I haven't had a little bit of ammo placed in the shop today, so there will be a little bit of Wednesday night whinge tomorrow, and it will be a good one because I've got a few things to whinge about. And I'll give you a little inkling to what one of them will be. It will be, why the fuck would you put gems and shit on your fucking mod?
I saw that picture in your group.
If you're watching, the person who knows this, who's theirs, why the fuck would you have fucking Pat Butcher's earring on your fucking mod? Simple. So yeah, that's a little bit of the whinge tomorrow, but you get that whinge tomorrow. Everybody likes the whinge. So let's get back to the questions. We've got some fucking awesome.
However, it could be useful though. Gems. I'm just trying to find my.
Have you got an ego with diamantes on?
No, we've got a cock ring with a diamond on.
It's not diamonds. It's crystals. Look, I've got a dangly thing with my screwdriver kit on it. See, that's handy.
Yeah,
that's handy. Yeah. Right, let's just sing the blues.
Oh my god. So I'm going to leave the questions for a little bit. I'm going to pass it back over to Rik, guys, and then we're going to talk about some more subjects that we've got on to hand for tonight.
Are we going directly on to the next one on the list after vape descriptions?
I believe so. Why not? Actually, let's talk about James's subject tonight.
What's my subject?
The main subject, which James has been working over this past week and a bit, and so's Rik. I haven't, so I can't really speak on it. But tonight, obviously, as we discussed last week, we're going to be talking about temperature control.
Yeah.
The hype around temperature control. Is it good? Is it a fad? What is it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it over to James because James has been gagging to get into this one. So I'll leave it to James for this one.
All right. Right. First of all, what is temperature sensing? Temperature sensing is the combination of a new chip that can read the temperature of your coil, and it can also adjust the wattage power output to suit the actual coil itself, so it's always adjusting. Rik's gone to sleep. But you've also then got the actual what the coil is made of, which is nickel wire. And the idea of it is that you can set a temperature limit on your mod and get a consistent, constant vape out of that mod all the time. Now the big thing that people said was the big thing is you don't get any dry hits. And that's true. I've run tanks empty just to test it out, and you don't get dry hits. But the big thing for me is, and I showed this to Tom the other night, is the way that it controls the wattage of your device. So at the temperature that you set, it drops the watts right down. So you can vape. I'm vaping at 400 watts here, and it's down to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and it drops down to 10 watts just to get that temperature. So it means your batteries are going to last a long time. You're not pulling the amps out of the batteries. I've got a 0.12 ohm coil on this, and it's vaping it at 10 watts at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So the amps coming out of the batteries are perfectly safe as well. You know, flavour-wise, I've never had a problem with the flavour. The stuff I've been using, lots of different types of different liquid, and I'm always getting good flavour from it. Personally, I don't think it's a fad. I think this is pretty much the future of vaping.
You've also got the safety aspect. I've been doing my research as well.
Laddie fucking da.
Yes. I know. Check me out. And these are unconfirmed articles, but I have been reading articles. Now, at a certain temperature, there's been experiments where if you raise your wattage up, or if you raise your voltage up and you're burning your liquids over 4.3, 4.4 volts, then you're essentially boiling the liquid, which can release formaldehyde and other nasties like that. Well, temperature control actually eliminates this because it keeps it at a consistent temperature. You are only vaporizing the liquid and not boiling it. So the safety aspects are actually quite high if these reports are as true as they are written on paper.
Yeah.
There you go. I said something fucking sensible for once.
Where's Rik?
I know. Where did that come from? When I was telling you I was actually compressing my coils, and you were like, "No, you got to space them."
Yeah.
So I thought, right, I'm going to do my research.
It's definitely more for your advanced vapors. It's because it can be a bugger to build on. Nickel wire itself is a lot softer and more fragile than Canthal, and it's a lot less forgiving. So when you're building on it, your build skills have to be spot on. A lot of people blame their DNA, saying their DNAs are faulty when they get misreadings and the wattages are down.
I wonder who did that.
But if your contacts aren't great, so if the way you've built the coil and it's not contacting on the device itself properly, or in the actual tank you're using or the RDA, then you're going to get misreadings. It's not going to fire the way it should. And also the contacts for the actual tank to the device itself. So it is a real tricky thing to get the hang of. But you know, it's if you can build a Canthal coil, then you can build a nickel coil. It just takes a little bit more work at it to get it spot on, I think.
I mean, James, when you're saying about the nickel wire being soft, I've actually got this stuff.
The hardened wire, yeah.
The tempered wire, yeah.
Have you used that?
Yeah, I've got that in my my troll.
Is it good?
Yeah, it works fine. Works absolutely fine. I have got the softer wire, and it's a bitch because when you screw down the connectors, 9 times out of 10 it snaps off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the tempered wire is actually easier to work with. It stays in place when you coil it and stuff like that. We've got a lot of people mentioning the Smock M80. Oh, yeah. I've done a review on the Smock M80. Smock made a huge error in saying it was temperature control. But all it is, and this was my theory on the video, all it is essentially it reads the coil, so it doesn't read whether it's Canthal or Ni200 or nickel or anything like that. It just essentially reads the coil, and then there's not very clever, but an algorithm in the background which generalizes the wattages what you get to get that temperature. So you do still get a consistent vape, even on Canthal.
Yeah.
However, don't expect your coils not to burn, because they will burn.
Well, I played with a temperature control device, and it was the X Cube. And to be particularly quite honest, the best thing about the device was the fucking Bluetooth app.
Hang on, let me just send it to whatever I need to on my phone. Do you use your phone to fire the device as well?
No, I didn't. I literally played with a device and just seeing how it was, and that was the most enjoyable part, was actually messing about with all the settings on the mobile phone. Particularly didn't enjoy the vape. It particularly wasn't the best vape for me. I wasn't using NI wire, so it was just literally a test just to see how everything works. And I will run through it, but at the minute I haven't, so I can't really speak on the subject.
So the Smox Cube.
The X Cube.
Oh, the X Cube.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that does the fancy lights.
Yeah, that is Smock, isn't it?
The disco lights. Yeah, the X Cube is the Smock.
That is Smock. So that's got temperature control on it, has it?
It has got temperature.
Well, a bodged version of temperature control.
Yes, a bodged version.
The same as in the M80.
Yes.
Why the fuck would they do that? Why would they? They've already fucked up one device. Let's fuck up another. I'll tell you what though, the Smock M80 for wattage mode, it's brilliant.
That's the thing, the devices you can use in wattage mode or in temperature mode as well. So it's, you know, if you want to use your Canthal, you can. If you want to use nickel, you can. So it's, yeah, I did have my doubts when I first started using it, but the more I do it, this little device here is pretty much my all-day vape now. I just really enjoy the way that it works, the way that you get consistent vape. You can have the temperature that you want. So if you want a hot vape, you can crank up the temperature. If you want a cooler vape, bring it down a bit. And a lot of people, or I've read a lot of things where people comment on the flavour from nickel, but this tastes the same to me as it does in a Canthal build. So I'm not really sure what the issue is there.
I think it's that initial flavour you get. You have to burn through some sort of, bed the coils in slightly to actually get the full flavour from it.
It comes to personal preference again. It always comes down to personal preference. If you don't like how it tastes, don't fucking use it. And if you do, then so what? You know, that it comes down to personal preference. That's the particular for me. But we've got plenty more to roll with. So is that us with temp control, guys?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Builds, you can build compressed, but they recommend building spaced out, so none of your coils touching.
It's just, I think one of the big things of that is just the way that your device reads it. And if you compress a coil, because the actual coil will expand slightly when you are when you're heating it up, what you're going to get then is the coils completely touching, and it's going to lower the actual ohm reading of it slightly, so you're going to get a little bit of variation in vape from that. If it's spaced, then you're getting consistent temperatures throughout the coil because it's not actually touching.
And your current is going to take the shortest route, so it's just going to jump all across the top of your coils.
Yeah, so you can't build Ni200 like you do Canthal. They are two completely different subjects, and you just got to treat them differently. You can't expect to build an Ni200 coil like you would a Canthal. Although you can actually do twisted coils with it, with Canthal and Ni200 I've been reading, which I've not experimented with.
No, I wouldn't, to be honest, unless it's a really thin gauge, because you're building really low as it is. Not that it's as dangerous as building really low with Canthal, because obviously you're setting your limits there. One thing I have noticed, you cannot build Ni200 on a coil master. It just goes. Well, I'll show you one. It probably won't zoom in. Well, let's get this zoomed in because this is epic. Come on.
It just overlapped. Oh, look at that! Overlap.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I'm going to put this in. Not really.
And just a little handy hint when you're actually building. When you're using the actual wire itself, wrap it round the screws rather than using the holes in your devices, because it just makes a better contact when it's wrapped around the screws. Your legs can get pinched off when it's going through the connectors. It's just a better way to get the contact, because that is the essential part of temperature control, is making sure the contact is spot on every single time.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I didn't think of that.
It's because you don't think.
Well, I do think. I think a little bit more than you, but.
I love you. I was doing algebra earlier.
Why?
What, adding up what a bloody start kit cost.
Thank you, appreciate that. So we're going to go to the next subject, and this is a pretty funny subject, and it's trolls and haters. Trolls and haters in the scene, on your YouTube, on your Facebook page, basically trolling the shit out of your channel. Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? What do we think of trolls and haters?
The internet is a very strange place, isn't it? Because people can take on different personas and be somebody who they're not really. Tom's met me, Rik's met me, and what you're getting on camera is pretty much me. When I do, yeah, minus the dresses, Rik.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not. When I do reviews, I'm me. But some people become this different person, and trolling is a very easy way to be a different person than yourself. And also, not everybody's going to like what you do anyway, are they?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I mean, with me and my huge subscriber base of just over 300, I don't have any trolls.
I think, like, say for instance, Uncle Todd, you're watching. Todd takes down his comments on his YouTube because of that reason, because he's got his own page that he runs question throughs and obviously does like a weekly questioning and does his vlogs and everything like that. And he's disabled his comments literally for that reason, because he'll get question after question after question, which will be the same question. And the majority of the time, it'll be people either slagging him off or, trying to troll the shit out of him. So in a good way, he's took the comments off, but in a negative light, it's kind of people can't contact him if they're not on Facebook or his website. So there is pros and cons to actually having a troll as well, because a troll can do well for you, exactly the way when a lot of big reviewers got trolled by a certain person. It was a trolling account, and literally like Suck My Mod, Twisted, Rip Trippers, Damien, a lot of people over here was trolled by the troll on YouTube, and there was a lot of hate comments and a lot of like videos taking the piss, and it kind of added a buzz to it, and actually it caused like a little little pump up in the scene, and everyone was like, what the fuck is going on? And it was kind of a little bit of a hype, and it can be pros and cons to trolling, and I think the majority of the time it's harmless and it's a little bit of fun, but when you actually personally attack somebody, it's different.
Yeah, that's when it becomes a hater, innit? But also, that's the minority, isn't it? You're always going to get that odd one person out there that that wants to put the harmful comments out there, but the majority of people will just read through that and see through that. The people that read the comments, etc., will just either take it with a pinch of salt or just completely ignore it anyway.
Yeah, don't take trolling to heart.
No.
I actually did have one person comment saying I review like I'm gonna piss myself or I need a piss. That wasn't a troll. That was true. I am a bit jittery. I don't know why.
That's your Tourette's, Rik.
But I do tend to swing around on my chair quite a lot. It's just a comforting thing. It's just like Big Tom and his blankie, or something like that. So yeah. I don't think trolls are a bad thing. I think they're fun. They can cause hype, and they can they can actually boost your channel.
Yes, a lot of they can, and that is a big thing.
What I would say, if anybody like new reviewers out there, etc., just don't get into a debate with trolls.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to win, and it can potentially have a negative or make you seem in a negative light. Just ignore it. You know, there people put comments on my reviews. It doesn't happen very often at all, but when they do, unless it's an actual topic or a comment which does deserve a response, as in why is this happening or why is that happening, if it's just a flippant remark, then I don't even bother responding to it, because there's no point, absolutely no point.
No, there isn't, and the majority of people that do have a face usually get trolled or hated. Look at the majority of celebrities that get hate mail on a regular basis because of what they do, and you've just got to take it with a pinch of salt and just laugh at it.
Tom puts on a reviewer's voice, says Phil Reeve.
I put on a reviewer's voice.
I think you do, actually. I can't do your accent, but you tend to go, what really grinds my gears. What really grinds my gears.
Everybody likes the fucking reviews. They just love the Wednesday night witch.
Becky Highland, I'm a stalker, not a troll. Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh dear. Tony's off to my channel to do some trolling. Good man. Mark Roberts. Right, I'm going to read this out. I haven't read this yet. Mark Roberts, never understand these retards that keep going to the same reviewers and trolling them. Just don't watch them. That's true. But they're trolling for a reason. That's the whole point of a troll, is to try and get a reaction.
They're getting something out of it.
If you don't give them a reaction, then you win, basically. You win the internet, which is quite a big prize.
Win the interwebs. So, talking about questions, we'll go to a question now. It's a question from a gentleman called Tim Brown, and this question's kind of made me think a little bit, and the question is, what's a good first Mech mod to get on a limited budget?
I'll hand this over to you guys, because I don't do mechs.
I'm going to make a suggestion straight away, and it's from Fast Tech. So that suits your limited budget, but the Stingray clone, because you don't have a spring switch, you have a magnetic switch. There's not much that goes wrong. This has been perfect since the day I bought it, and only about, I think it's about $20.
I'm a bit iffy on this one, really, really. It made me think. This question really did make me think. Mech mods aren't a joke. They're not like what?
You get on that fence.
I'm not going to put the crown on. I'm not going to put the cop-out crown on. I'm going to go for it.
I forgot about the cop-out crown.
Well, for me, it's a touchy subject. It's not a regulated box. It's not going to tell you when your battery's depleting. It's not when your battery's going to tell you your volts are at, how far down they are, how much your Mars draining. For me, mechs are serious pieces of kit. And it is for the advanced vapor.
You know, his research.
No, that's not an issue. I'm just trying to put it across the board to everybody. If anybody's thinking about getting a mech, you obviously need to know a little bit more about safety, because let's be honest, guys, people that buy regulated devices put batteries in exactly the same as would in a remote and expect it to be plug and fucking play. It's not always plug and play. If a battery swells, a battery's going to swell regardless if it's in a charger or if it's in your mech or if it's in a box. It's going to swell and it's going to explode. It's going to vent. And for me, with a mech, you've got to literally have that battery safety. You've got to have that knowledge of Ohm's law. You've got to know what you're running on, especially if you're running a fucking hybrid. A lot of these stories these days are guys running hybrids and sticking a sub tank on it that's not going to just above 510 and going kaboom. You know, the thing is, you need to do quite a bit of research. I'm not saying the gentleman Tim Brown who's asking the question isn't. I'm just trying to put it across the board to say that mechs are a serious piece of kit. They don't tell you when your batteries are dying. They don't give you a limit to how far you can push your batteries. And literally, for me, a first mod to get would be a Nemesis. That's what I would say. And Nemesis is a couple of years old. Yeah, it is very an old unit, but that was one of my firsts, and I absolutely loved it. It's regardless of your budget. If you want to spend something on a mech mod, go for a higher mech mod. If you want to go for a budget, go for a lower end. But literally, do your research, do as much as you can regarding it, and be safe, because they are a serious piece of kit, and they are for the advanced vapor. So literally, if you're coming off a CE4 and an Ego Twist battery, please don't jump into a mech as your first mod.
No.
And don't buy batteries with fire on it. Any batteries with fire, even if you're rewrapping perfect fucking Samsung 25Rs with Trust Fire or whatever wraps, don't do it. It's fucking idiotic and stupid.
And we won't name the person who does it, but they know what we're talking about right now.
There is someone out there that rewraps their 25Rs with with Trust Fire wraps.
Yep.
So it is a serious business. I do like that question. But literally, it's up to you with a mech mod. It's exactly the same as a regulated. It's whatever your budget fits. Go for something with usually copper pins or silver-plated copper. Just go for something that's round about your budget, but be very serious and be precautious with a mech, because simple.
Yeah.
That's my fucking Wednesday night whinge there.
I have got a couple of mechs, but I don't use them because I just prefer the ability to move across your range, your wattage range, getting different flavors out your juices rather than just getting one power going through your coil at one time. Just like playing around with the juice itself, different powers, different flavors. And there's some juices out there. Doc Cotton, who won that Odin range.
The Odin range.
Bananas, what's going on?
That juice is designed for multiple wattages because the layering of the actual flavors themselves come out at different power strength.
Yeah, that's all.
I think with the mech though, as well as you can actually put your as long as you know battery safety, you can literally push your batteries to its limit safely with a mech. But with a regulated box, it usually has like a cut-off point, so you literally can't drop it below a certain ohms. And I think that's the kind of thing with an advanced vapor using a mech, is that the mech does able you to push the battery to its limits.
One thing I will say is, if your mech gets too hot to handle by hand, shit yourself, right? Don't get a wet towel and wrap it round it and think it's still perfectly safe.
There was that guy, wasn't there, doing the YouTube
Don't
video?
say his name, don't say his name, don't say his name!
No, I'm not going to, but doing like stupidly low build, venting batteries and saying, oh, you know, like it was nothing.
Why can't we say his name, Tom?
Because you don't want to give the dick any fucking reference.
No.
A lot of the guys that are watching this, obviously the majority of people are hobbyist vapors that are watching this, and you will know that person who just twisted fucking 19 wires twisted and shit.
Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Not do it. But we'll go on to another. Have we got any more questions in chat or anything, Rick? Because we've got a few questions that we can run through from the group.
Yeah, just reiterating what we said. Reiterating. Oh, Richard Allen, Mr. Pisshead himself.
Says you.
Oh no, he was far gone, too far gone. And then apparently, who was it? It was Minky that had to go on the roller coaster the next day with his kid, or something like that. That was fun with a hangover. Right, Mark Roberts. Richard Allen. Is there a favourite coil build any of you have, i.e., regular, parallel, Clapton, zipper, twisted, ribbon, etc.?
Yeah, mine is I do like a single coil, single build of a twisted 0.4mm 8 wraps. That's ideal for me. Comes out about 0.5. Absolutely lovely vape.
I normally just do dual parallels.
Very nice flavour on dual parallels.
I did do a quad parallel. That was a bit flavoursome.
Bit warm.
A bit scary.
A bit warm. My favourite build is 24 gauge, 4 wrap, around a 3mm drill bit. That's my favourite. She's a little bit aggressive, but I like it because the mod.
You like the aggressive ones?
I do like the aggressive ones, but the modern Atty I'm using is pretty. The Atty is airy, so it's not too warm. And I hate a warm vape. I like it's quite cool, tasteful, but yet again, then it goes back to build and juices because I know you people like to eat custard cold, but do you want to vape it cold?
No.
It's meant to be vaped warm, so you need a warm vape to vape custard, I believe, to its full potentials.
It does come out. The flavours come out. The more power you put through your coil, the more custard flavour comes out.
Yeah.
It's just one of those vapes. That and vanillas as well. Strawberry as well, funnily enough.
That's the thing. Certain juices, like I wouldn't want to vape a fruity juice like very warm, but a lot of dessert juices do taste a lot better warm.
You not had rice pudding with warm jam?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So you'd want to vape it warm then, wouldn't you?
Oh, is that? Sorry, I was too busy reading the chat. Yes, and horses shouldn't be left alone. How long before we can play Candy Crush on our mechs? Or more to the point, let's start off with the original and let's play Snakes.
Well, there was the mod.
That I12, wasn't it?
Yeah, the G12.
That's it. I26498Z.
Yeah,
that is James's phone number, by the way.
You could play, I believe it was Mario Karts on that one, actually.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, really. But then again, it goes back to, why the fuck would you want Bluetooth on a mod?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Why would you, Tom?
I thought it was cool. I thought it was fucking that I could control it. That's just been a lazy vapor.
Mark Roberts, mechs require you to do research. I'm too fucking lazy. I'll just toss the trust bar in there and lose a hand.
Oh my lord. So let's go for another question. This is quite a long one. It's from Phil Reeves and it says, this question is for all three of you guys. Do you think that we have forgotten why we all vape? And do you all think the whole sponsorship thing seems too really big at the moment and is spoiling the vape community?
We spoke about sponsorship fairly recently, didn't we, in one of the shows?
Well, you're gonna have to explain it to me, really, because I don't get it. I don't get
sponsorships. Yeah. Sponsorships are basically, you can publicly have a sponsorship or you can publicly not have a sponsorship. Basically, a sponsorship is a marketing tool. So, for example, there's a guy called Freshgator J. We'll mention the guy. He's a trickster. Also classes himself as a professional vapor on Instagram, and the guy's literally got 50,000 followers. And he gets paid to go to cons and represent different companies using their mods, using their juices, their wicks, the wires. He's literally the full package. And basically, all sponsoring is basically advertisement. So basically, you become an advertisement whore.
Right.
It's just essentially the extreme side. It's like fishing.
Yeah.
If you fish, if you catch a lot of big fish, then companies come up to you and say, "Look, can I sponsor you? Can I, pay for your rods essentially, or pay for your line, or bait?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's I don't see an issue with it really, to be honest. If you're in the limelight that much and you're not using it, to gain profit or anything like that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's fine, but I mean,
see, that's why I didn't really understand what the sponsorship was. But if you've got something to offer the vape community, as in tricksters, it's all part of the many subcultures of vaping, isn't it? Then why not have sponsorship if people are willing to pay for that sponsorship, and it's obviously a marketing tool for them, then why not? I don't personally see an issue with it. If you are if you're promoting yourself as impartial, however, I get sent a lot of things with my products that I review, T-shirts, etc. But you won't see me wearing them unless I'm actually reviewing that product, because I'm not, I don't wear them very often. If you see me at an exhibition, I'm not going to be walking around wearing some company's logos, because
Hang on a minute. Let's just stop right there. Yeah. What T-shirt did you get given at Vape Jam?
Did I wear it?
You put it on.
I didn't.
You said, I'm just going to disappear and put this on.
I didn't put it on. Didn't wear it.
And I did see you wearing a Trustfire T-shirt the other day.
Yeah. Trustfire rocks, man.
I think, because like literally, as you guys know, we went to Jam and they were throwing T-shirts out and stuff like that for free advertisement and everything like that. I have a few friends in the industry that do own a juice line and currently wearing their T-shirt, and I do that because they are friends, and obviously I'm representing their company. I don't say it's the best thing since sliced bread, and I literally wear the T-shirt because they are friends, and I'm trying to obviously show respect for their company and what they do, and that's particularly me. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting paid. I'm not, I'm not receiving anything to say, oh yeah, say that, Tom, say it's the best thing you've ever tried, and we'll send you this, we'll send you that, we'll send you that, somebody's added the other. That's not it. It's literally helping a company and representing the company the same way that one of the biggest reviewers always vapes the same juice and always represents the same juice.
I mean, in terms of have we forgotten why we all vape? Was it all three of you do we think we've forgotten why we all vape?
Yeah.
I don't think we've forgotten. I think as soon as it turns into a hobbyist thing rather than something to quit the cigarettes, then it becomes very much in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if the TPD comes in its full effect, then I think we might remember why we vape, because a lot of us might end up on the cigarettes again.
Yeah, agreed.
Not me.
Agreed. I do agree with that.
Not me. I'm going on to herbal vaporizers.
I'm reviewing flat screen TVs.
Lamborghinis for me.
We've got a couple of comments actually. These are brilliant. Thanks a lot, the Naked Vaper. Always throwing in something interesting into the mix. Talking about sponsorship as well. Pixel Vape sponsored by Tenor. All those awkward moments. Yep. And then Mark Roberts has come in with hashtag Pissy Pants Rick. Right, now, I've not pissed myself, guys. I just jiggle a little bit. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of jiggling. It keeps the blood circulating whilst you're sat here. So, yeah, thanks again. They normally say when people take the piss out of you, they love you. So, thanks, guys.
Everybody must love you then, Rick.
Everybody loves me.
Everybody loves Rick.
Should
we do the final question before we get into the competition for the night, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it.
So the final question is from JP Nichols.
Woo!
I'm using an Aspire CF sub-ohm with a Aspire Atlantis sub-tank. I would like to upgrade to a dripper and a mod battery. I would like something easy-ish to begin with to get used to making calls and understanding the whole concept. What would you all recommend me to begin with? Enjoy the show, so keep up the good work. Thanks, JP.
It's a tricky one, that, isn't it, really? Because it is, drip is a personal preference, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I mean, ideally, for a dripper, you want something with a really big build deck.
Yeah.
That's a little bit more forgiving.
Well, a nice juice well, maybe a 4-post dripper.
Yeah.
4 posts. I was going to say 4 posts. I mean, it ticks. The troll ticks a lot of the boxes.
Yeah. Plume Veil as well. That's a pretty easy one to use.
Yeah, Plume Veil.
But the last thing you want, if you're looking to do dual coils and you're just getting into it, is a 3-poster.
Yeah, they're tricky.
Yeah.
So anything really with 4 posts, a big build deck, and quite a big juice well.
Yeah.
Side airflow, not bottom airflow though.
You've got to look at what what do you want out of your dripper? Are you after the cloud, or are you a flavour chaser? Because they perform differently, don't they?
That's another good point. Yeah. So I mean, someone's put on there. Dark Horse is a nice, easy deck to build on.
It is, but it's only a 3-poster, though, isn't it? So if you
Dark Horse there. Also, try and get something with the Allen key screws.
No, don't.
Yeah.
No, they round off too easily.
Get filling heads.
Well, the reason why I say that is because when you're building and when you're adjusting your coils and you're wiggling them about, 9 times out of 10 the screw ones come loose. The Allen key ones actually stay in place.
Well, double check your fucking builds then. What the fuck?
Yeah.
This is for a beginner. This is for a beginner.
Of course, but obviously, but once again, it goes back to safety.
Yeah.
All the time goes back to safety. When you're getting into this kind of stuff, remember your safety. And I go over this and over this every episode, but it's so important. Literally, do your fucking research on what you get and ask people. Ask people what they've got, what their opinions are. Watch a fucking YouTube reviewer. Find out what you want from that device and then go from there. And only you can make that personal decision in your vaping experience. Nobody else can tell you what to buy. Ours are literally opinions, what we think, and go from opinion, but obviously choose what you want from your own.
Yeah.
So much shit out on the market as well.
There is. And you're getting at least a dripper a day being released nowadays. And it's hard, really hard to keep up with the stuff that's being released. Mods not so much because they're not coming so thick and fast, but drippers, every single day there's a new dripper on the market.
Well, UK Vape Talk love coming on right here in the chat. Tony's saying, tell him to PM me. I've got a Magma he can have, just pay postage.
Boom, there you go.
There you go. So we'll hook you up. Who's that? JP Nicholas.
Yeah.
JP Nicholas and Tony. You're both
excellent. Well done, Tony.
Well done, Tony. We have a round of applause.
Yeah.
Well done, family. Well done, family.
Much love.
So, Rick, it's your time to shine, buddy. I think you need to tell everybody about this big-ass competition.
Have I not shined already? I don't think I have.
I don't know. I think you jump cut it out, didn't you?
Hey. Right, okay. So, guys, guess what?
What?
I guess.
What?
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 I can't find the post.
There's
too much going on. Right, okay. Right. You can win. And this is epic prizes going on. I'm going to make this big.
Oh.
Right. You can win 30 mils of XDC and Fruit Loops by Vapor Fog. Woohoo! Not only that, but an Innokin iSub G tank from Mark Iamrooney Roberts, who's a member. That's UK VT Love right there. Not only that, but on top of that, 3 times 35 mils of Mrs. B's True Dairy Custard from Yog, Ye Old Gloucester Gloop.
I got some of that today in the post.
That's with thanks to Matt Bolster. And also, last but not least, you can win an Arctic tank and the complete Yorkshire Vaper range. And that's from the YorkshireVaper.co.uk. Dale Wilkinson. That's 11 juices, isn't it, in his range?
Yeah.
So that's an epic prize right there. So, how are you going to win? How are they going to win?
They have to think of, we are trying to think of a tagline or a slogan that will represent Vape Talk UK. So what we want you guys to think of and write down for us is a tagline or a slogan that will represent us in the best light. We all have a catchphrase, peace! So,
toodles!
Yeah, toodles! And check it out. So we want not those ones, we want something original to Vape Talk UK, something that we can use, we'll be proud of using, and something that is made by the Vape fam.
Yeah. So it could be like Vape Talk UK, love in a bundle of joy, like a bunch of cuddly teddy bears.
Don't use that one.
No. We want something quite short and sweet, but something that sums us up. Only one entry per person. It's going to be on the usual competition page on vapetalkuk.co.uk. I'll put it up after the show, and I'll post in the Facebook group, also in the chat when it's live. It should be about 10 minutes after the show. It'll be live. Yeah, so again, one entry per person, and in the next show, we'll read out a few of the best ones, and we'll announce who the winner is.
Yeah. Really looking forward to reading these as well.
Yeah,
but guys, don't forget you only get one, so you know, let's make it count.
Yeah.
Rather than put Rick's a fucking dick or something like that.
There's a winner.
Yeah. That's a winner, Rik Trippers. So I think we've come to the end of the show. I've kind of hosted it this week. What the fuck's been going on, Rick?
Yeah, I hosted it. I was a bit flustered because the camera wasn't working, and I was having to manually switch the fucker. And then James come in. As soon as we pressed the stop broadcast, James come in, and it started working. And we're just like, oh, shut up. So we had to reset up the broadcast. But you know, thanks for persevering with us, and you know, we've actually got it back on track, I think.
Yeah, we have, and got it back up. So we do, honestly, thank you for waiting for the second link to come out. But we will sign off on that note. Keep watching, keep liking the videos. It's a pleasure doing this every week. We do love this, and we do say it all the time, but we appreciate the family love that we are making with the VT UK, and keep at it, guys.
Yep, thank you so much. Much appreciated. And we want to see some fan art. Come on,
Gary. Hang on, guys. Before we dismiss this, can we talk about protests quickly for 5 minutes?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, there was meant to be a protest May the 29th. I think 10 people turned up to that in
London and Swan. Yeah.
So it didn't really have the impact it was meant to. I know one of the questions was, is it a reviewer's responsibility to advertise this? As a reviewer, no, because I'm to review products, not to advertise stuff. But channels like this, yeah, we'll give it a mention, absolutely. I don't think that one worked very well because the date wasn't. It was meant to coincide with the protest in Europe, wasn't it?
Yeah. It didn't happen because obviously the court was put back to October. What I think what we try to do as much advocacy as we can. There is literally Vape Talk, Vapor Trails that do the advocacy a lot more than we do. We literally are three guys sat here just having shits and giggles. Rik is doing the shits, I'm doing the giggles.
What is this with me stalling myself?
But we do try and give as much advocacy as we can. But obviously there is another show in the UK that does do, you know, just advocacy. So if you guys want to check that out as well. But we literally are here for the shits and giggles and for you to watch. But we will mention it as much as we can. But I think it's down to the individual vapor to do the promoting regarding protests and stuff. We are also real human beings. We don't just sit in front of a camera 24/7, 365. Even though Rik would like to.
You know, I completely missed that. I was reading another comment from the Naked Vaper saying Vape Talk UK increasing Rik's sub count since last week. I won.
But please, guys, it's necessarily down to you as a vapor to get through that advocacy as well, as much as it is for us guys. You are a vapor as well. We just have an opinion. That's literally it. So we do try to do it as much as we can with the advocacy, but it is also down to you guys to promote that as well.
Yeah.
It's not just on our heads, 100%.
Yeah. To promote it, boys
and girls. Shut up, radio face.
Right. Unfortunately, I'm going to go hang myself for all the bullying and trolling. So I won't see you next week. Toodles.
Once again, guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you didn't catch the show live, you'll obviously be watching this back and watching us twats just fuck about. So hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week, and get your entries in for the competition because it is a good bundle to win, guys. It is big.
Massive bundle.
So, sort that out, guys. We'll see you very soon.
Catch you later.
Bye, guys.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Oh, and guys, don't forget, subscribe down the bottom. Picks of Vape. Lovely. Cheers. Bye.